Hi, my name is Kris. Recently at a male care meeting, Daryl asked me if I would shoot a little small piece on something that I spoke about in the group meeting. It seemed that they felt that it might help other people. I had a radical prostatectomy in 2017, and now 2 years away from that, and wanted to speak a little bit on urinary incontinence, which is something that I did battle with for a while. I so far now have seemed to have gotten on top of it. The thing is, I've done a lot of work with Kegel exercises, which is strengthening the pelvic floor muscles, trying to regain the control and sensation of being able to cut off the urine flow without having the aid of a second sphincter, which is located at the bottom of the bladder neck, which is removed during a radical prostatectomy. You're left with only one urinary sphincter to cut off the urine. So something that I started working on was doing Kegel exercises, which the doctors told me might improve my chances of having it not take as long with what they call stress incontinence. I took it to a bit of a radical level. I do 400 to 500 a day, which by some people's standards seems to be a real lot. I've had physician's assistants tell me to scale that back a little bit and not, maybe not do as many. And when I did that, I had just little amounts of leakage. So I went back to what was working for me. I'm not saying it will work for everybody, but it does work for me. So I practice Kegels, and I do them every day, religiously, every day. But what I really wanted to talk about today was just steps further from that. And what that entails is my realizing, once I gained a lot of muscular control and really felt that I could feel and sense when the urine was actually flowing down and maybe missing my secondary sphincter and going all the way down into the urethra that passes through the pelvic floor muscles, and then I could close it off and I could hold it, and I could hold it for 5 hours sometimes, like that, sometimes all the way to the penis head. I could feel the fluid going all the way to the penis head, stop it, hold it, and then go when I needed to go. So I've developed a lot of muscular control by doing so many Kegel exercises. It's sort of, the way I illustrated it in the group meeting the other night was to, like if you were to put a straw down into a drink and put your finger on top of the straw and pull the straw up out of the fluid, and then you released your finger, the fluid would drain out. So it's somewhat of a gravity feed and then a suction situation, or like holding. But when I did this research on myself as a subject, I also discovered that quite often what might happen to me with small amounts of leakage, just a little dribbling here and there, was caused more from actually not getting all of it out. Not necessarily voiding out of your bladder. That I knew that with bladder scans I was doing. I was voiding everything out of my bladder. But a small amount always does and is retained within the urinary tract of the urethra. So the urethra, now in the muscles, is filled with fluid as well when I've stopped and I've closed off and I've stopped peeing. So a method that I use is just a gentle massaging to the perineal area underneath, between your anus and your scrotum. If you just draw your fingers in a drawing motion, you will end up relieving more of the fluid that is caught in the urethral tube, and thus ridding your body of extra fluid that could be caught in there, that when you cough, sneeze, or twist funny, or lift something, laugh, whatever, and then it expels on you. It quite often is this part of fluid that is just in the lower part of the urethra. I learned this trick a long time ago, way before I ever had cancer. A urologist was trying to get a little tiny drop of urine from me, and I didn't really need to go right then, and I hadn't done a urine specimen, and he just did this trick to me, and it expelled some urine. I was totally surprised, and I was like, how did you do that? And he says, well, it's always, this was when I had 2 sphincters still. So anyways, so back to that story. So in drawing the fingers forward and doing that with a lot of relaxation, you really have to relax your body, and I have to relax my muscles down there, particularly because they've gotten so strong that they really hold a lot back now. So I have to relax everything, and then sometimes even after that, I'll relax again and another spurt might come out. But once I have cleaned that tube out completely, I have no more issues with it at all until it comes down the pike again from your kidneys, through your bladder, through your urethra, and down through the prostate bed. And wherever it stops, wherever I happen to stop it, then when I go and I avoid my bladder, I just make sure that I clear the last little bit out of the urethra by just gently massaging forward, and then even like sliding my fingers down the shaft of my penis to expel the rest of the fluid. This doesn't, however, look very good if you're at a urinal, unfortunately, especially if there are children around and parents with their children. So I opt almost always now for a stall. If I can, in a bathroom situation, I will go to a stall where I can have the privacy of doing this. It also, I might add, works better if you have your pants like open, rather than just trying to reach in through your fly, through the crotch of your pants, through the fly. It doesn't really give you the reach back ability to reach back far enough to actually clear it. But in experimenting with this, you'll understand what it is I'm talking about, and hopefully this might be something that helps other people that seem to be plagued with frustrating and annoying unpredicted expelling of fluids after they have finished urinating. Anyways, hope it was helpful. Thank you very much. This is Kris, signing off. Thanks. Bye.